staying on that theme of the little kids, I just got 2 different questions sent to me on that. So one is, I have a question in regards to motivating kids and helping them remain engaged. Any tips? I have a kindergartner and a 2nd grader, and they are not excited about the prospect of virtual learning this fall. They're too young to leave alone for 15, 20-minute increments. What can I do to keep the 2nd grader on track and get the kindergartner excited about starting school?
Yeah. So you're going to want to start in small increments, right? You're going to want to curate school around chunks of time that you can actually sit with your kid and help them with it, especially your kindergartner, right? So if that means that you have 30 minutes a day for your kindergartner, then maybe that's all the school your kindergartner is going to do. And that's okay, as long as there are other things in the world that your child can do. Now, that might mean playing video games for 4 hours. That might mean some more screen time than you ever thought your kids would have. And that's okay. Right now, in the way the world is at this moment, those are some of the options. While the weather is still nice, I would also suggest it being part of being outside.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are just gonna be like, okay, great, be excited about this Zoom call, bye, see ya. They're gonna be like, bye, and they're gonna close their computer, and that's gonna be that. So if they're not excited, do it at a time when you can be there to help facilitate it. Know that that's gonna be okay. If they don't get all their academics in, that's okay, right? So the idea that we have to learn everything right now, and if your kindergartner doesn't get it, it's gonna be a big problem, is not true. Your kids being healthy and safe and interested in something, doesn't have to be their letters and numbers, but something right now matters more than anything else. And my guess is that your little ones are more interested in being with you than anything else. So have them come cook with you. They're not gonna get their numbers in school because they can't be there, they don't care about Zoom, but they can count out 3 scoops of flour when you're making dessert or bread or whatever people are making these days, right? They can learn numbers in that way. You show them the recipe and ask them to find every letter A that they can and have them point it out. Get creative with the learning if they're not into the Zoom piece. They're not into the virtual learning. It is hard. It is hard, and that's okay. You want to still get them into it a little bit, but it might be not exactly what your school has suggested. It might not be exactly what you thought it was going to be, and that's okay, because you have to balance all of the variables that are on your plate, and you have to find a balance that is sustainable, right? I want you to really get into that sustainability of how to get there. And then my final piece on it is your language, your conversation, your discussions around school have to be like it is the best thing you have ever thought about in the entire world. They got the best teacher, and oh my gosh, Zoom is great, and they're gonna learn so much, and it's gonna be so amazing for them to learn all these things this year, because learning's great. Okay, maybe not that over the top if that's not your style, but you want everything you say to them to be positive and enthusiastic and headed in the direction of this is great. And if they want to complain, if they want to say they're having a hard time, you listen and you go, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, you just listen to whatever they're going to tell you, and you have small responses. But if they ask you something, you find the way to frame it from the positive. Even if that's not 100% of how you're feeling, you have to project to them that this is a great piece.
Got it.